So Jack Ma is missing in China. Just in case you don't know who Jack Ma is, he's like the Jeff Bezos, the richest man in China. He's got Alibaba, which is like the Amazon of China, but he's missing. Jeff Bezos is not going to be missing here in the United States. He's going to be well protected. The laws protect him. The laws at this point in time function here. In China, not so much. China is a very serious, competitive, backstabbing society, right? And I could see it from afar, even through history. It's a lot of sneakiness, a lot of poisoning, and all that. And that's not to behoove the Chinese people. The Chinese people are extremely competitive. It's a wonder to watch them rise. But in essence, the society is a very competitive society. And at the top, they could be vicious. Jack Ma probably overstepped his boundaries, right? Let's say Napoleon, when he invaded Russia, he conquered Europe. He's #1 in the world. Not enough. Let me step one more. And, you know, when I saw an interview with him and Elon Musk, he was a little too cocksure, a little bit extra, doing extra things. Probably making enemies or criticizing the government. The same thing happened in Russia. You have power and you have money, and they start to compete. Putin was the president of Russia, and one of the billionaire oligarchs started criticizing him because in his bubble he's the man, and then they get checked. Where is he? Is he missing? Is he dead? Probably missing. Probably going to pop out. Perhaps never pop out. Perhaps they're going to take him, drag him in, and never release him until he gives up the money. He went from the life of that few will ever experience to a living hell. That's where Jack Ma is right now. And that's because the Chinese are dangerous. They're ruthless, right? And not the people, the communist government. They're tough cookies, right? Like Trump would say or something like that. And they got their hands in Africa. They got their hands here. They're trying to go around the world. What does that boil down to? Why am I telling you about Jack Ma right now? Because if you're a young guy like me, 30s, 20s, whatever you might be, your future is going to be linked to what China does. There's a lot of people, and they have a weakness, right? The people desire democracy, and so on and so forth. We need to learn about that now and prepare ourselves, because this is not the Soviet Union with its crusty, rusted submarines. This is a completely different beast, and we have to check them now. Their weakness is democracy and the people desiring freedom and the abuses that they put into the system. So study it, learn what's happening. If the richest man in the world, you know, they have all this capital, they're coming back, they're going to play currency games. What are they trying to do? They're trying to make you low and them high, as revenge for the opium wars and things like that. So that's me reporting that to you. Be very careful. Hopefully Jack Ma pops up. To be honest with you, Jack Ma, one of the richest guys in the world, I care about him as much as he cares about anybody else. Not that much as far as I know. I don't know how charitable of a guy he is, but if you're the richest guy in the world, you have a big responsibility for the Chinese people and people around the world. If he was fulfilling that responsibility, I wish him well. Doubtful that he was. Now he's on his own. Just like all those other Chinese people that are stuck in factory jobs and suffocating and stabbing each other, trying to climb in this crabs in a barrel world that they're in. But, you know, just you have the one last point. You have the future. You got the United States competing with China. What advantages do we have? We have culture, we have clothing, we got the best TV shows, we got the best swag, we're not going to outcompete them in producing factory goods, and that's a problem unless we get into 3D printing, things like that. But we are going to outcompete them in a lot of cultural things, right? You're never going to want to watch the Chinese shows and wear Chinese sneakers and have the Chinese clothing line. They're not going to be on that level. You're going to want to wear Louis Vuitton from France. You're going to want to wear Nike from here. You're going to want to own an iPhone, which is produced there but designed here. So there's a lot of things that we have advantages of. I want you to know that. We need to focus on that. We need to compete against China so we can have a healthy exchange and a prospering democracy when it's all said and done for them and for us, and a peaceful world. Otherwise, we could end up like Jack Ma.